Welcome to Beauty After Dark, where we discuss the beauty in life's toughest times. Today, things might look just a little different, but this guest needs no introduction. She is the host of Beauty After Dark. She is the recipient of Black Girls Who Rock the inaugural class. She is the president and owner of an online clothing store and the president of a nonprofit organization
Yes.
serving the greater St. Louis area. Give it up for Crystal West.
Yay! Make some noise for Crystal West. I'm just playing. Okay.
So today we're going to discuss emotions. So let's just get right into it. Tell me, how do you handle your emotions now versus how you handled them in the past?
Okay, so to even begin, let's just start off with I had to really realize that I had an issue with emotions. And people used to tell me, like, you are the most emotional, non-emotional person that
Okay.
I know. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm passionate about the things that I love, but I don't feel like I don't have to. I don't know what I felt like. Whatever I felt, it was completely wrong because it wasn't that I was emotionless. I just was avoiding the emotions, if that makes sense. And so what made me realize I was avoiding emotions, because I will always be like, if it wasn't like a happy emotion, I'd be like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to feel that. Let's just get over it. Like, it didn't even matter if it was like, it could be a happy emotion. It could be me liking someone in my past. And as soon as I feel like the feelings are getting too intense, I would run. Not because I didn't like that person. It was more so because I was scared.
Okay.
I was in
that
fear.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that until what am I, 39? I don't think I realized that until like later in my third, like I was well in my 30s when I realized I was
Some people never realize that.
I know, and so hopefully they listening and we can talk about.
So do you think you ran from it because you were like, okay, this high is really high. I don't want to fall. I don't ever want to fall from this. I would rather just walk away on good terms and be done.
No.
Okay.
I think I walked away or ran from it because, again, I was avoiding I didn't want to feel an emotion. Okay. I knew I was feeling something, but it was just intense and it was kind of overwhelming where I'm like, this feel good, like, but it's gonna end. Is it about to end? You know what? Let me just get away from this, because if it end, I know that I'm gonna be hurt. Or even if sometimes I didn't think it would end, it would just be like something in me I didn't want to feel.
So it was almost like self-sabotage. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So was there a pivotal moment where you just said, I got to figure this out because I'm missing out on good things, or I'm not even experiencing all the things that I could be?
Yes. And that was kind of, well, we had our episode, like, when we could, and it used to be nothing for me to cut somebody off. Even if I loved you, it was still like, well, on to the next. I'll find another friend, or I'll do
Jack.
Right. But it was more so like, it was just easier to cut someone off. And then once I started, I would do it so much. Well, not necessarily so much. I wasn't getting into it with like my friends like that. But it happened to like Jamaica. Me and her didn't talk for like a while. And she did something I didn't like. So as opposed to confronting her and telling her what I didn't like, it was just like, and this was like hearsay. I was just like, oh, I don't talk to her at all. So it's easier for me to avoid the emotion and avoid you rather than to deal with it right then and there, because right then and there, the feeling is just so intense. But actually, it was hurting me by doing all of that.
Yeah. So you didn't really know how to handle it. So you just avoided it altogether. And so that there was no emotional growth in that.
Yes.
Because it takes a lot of maturity.
Oh my God, it did.
to approach a situation that hurts.
Child, yes. And I didn't want to feel, and then, I'm a lover. I love everything about love. So I think it also, looking back on it, if I had to remove the love that I was giving you, that really hurt me. I would rather see you hurting, and I just take it as an L and just be like, no. But then after so many times of doing it, it began to hurt me. So, okay, now I'm feeling hurt. Let's avoid this emotion and just cut people off. So it was kind of like that. But I think me getting in control of these emotions happened last year. So we can talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's get into it because I need to know.
Okay. All right, so where do I even begin? I think so we had 21 days of prayer and fasting at my church, the Spirit
Okay.
Church.
Okay.
Shout out to them. And so God, basically, it was the year of ascension. That was our theme last year, and God was telling me, "I'm going to make you be someone you've never been before." And I'm just like, okay, like.
And for those of you that don't know, Crystal talks to God like he's the homeboy.
I do, because that's our relationship.
Yeah.
So I encourage, get your own relationship with God, and it works out.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, he told me that, and I was just like, all right, let's go. So during 21 days of prayer and fasting, you excited? You like, I'm on fire for God. Like, what we about to do, God? And he'll give you a little bit at a time, and that's what he did to me over the last year. It was increments, like just little increments of everything. So after that was over with, I was like, all right, come on. I'm ready. Like, what we do? But I had no idea, y'all, what was gonna happen. I went through a breakup. I got bit by a dog. My dog. I had to say this. It was bad. He bit me. It was a freak accident. I chipped my teeth. I had to get my teeth replaced. What else? I mean, and then I had to create boundaries with a few different people that I think of all the things that I went through, the boundaries, setting boundaries, healthy boundaries, that hurt me more than anything. Because again,
no, it did, friendly Bob.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about me being a friendly Bob on another day. But that hurt me really, really badly, because I'm like, I love this person. Why am I creating a boundary? And God is like, I'm taking you somewhere. Do what I said, baby. Like, and I don't know, everybody read the Bible if you don't, but the Bible is all about obedience. You gotta listen to the voice of God and listen to what he's saying. And he has plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but to take you further in life. And I had to keep telling myself that. And so I'm like, okay, fine, I'll create this boundary, but how do I create this boundary? So I had to Google how to create healthy boundaries. And I feel like that I was put on this earth to love and to show love. So when my friends call me a friendly Bob, it's funny because I am, but I also know that that's just who God created me to be. But I had to learn how to use that gift wisely. Yes, I'm a lover, but you have to love with boundaries. And that's just not with friends. That's with everything at work, your kids. I mean, that's just all the way around. So yeah, so that's how it started.
Okay. Let's definitely get into everything that happened, because you mentioned a lot. So we got a lot of things to unpack here. So I think the thing that stands out the most in my mind is the accident where you chipped your teeth.
Okay.
Seems like that was a good beginning, because you did have a lot of things happen.
Yes, I did. And so, for those of you who don't know, I used to rollerblade. I had a freak accident, and I had to get my teeth replaced. And it was really, really bad. So in the beginning of after 21 days of that happened in 2020. In the beginning of 21 days of prayer and fasting, well, at the end, I needed a root canal. And so they had to go through my porcelain, and they were like, hey, we gotta go through your porcelain, so it's probably going to chip. We don't know when, but we'll, solder. What do they do when they put whatever? After they fill the hole back in that they drill through to get into my gums, they were like, you need to babysit your teeth. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, it's nothing. So one day I bit into something. I think, was we out to eat a taco or something?
It was the pickle.
Oh my God, it was the pickle. Okay, so it happened twice. So listen, the first time I bit into a pickle that had a peppermint in it, because I love.
Because she's so north side.
Okay, but I bit into this pickle, y'all, and I forgot that it had a peppermint in it. And so when I bit it literally, I felt it. And so I immediately was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. The Holy Spirit literally came over me and was like, calm down, spit out the pickle. The piece, the what chipped is in there. This all happening within a matter of seconds. The Holy Spirit calming me down. So I'm like, okay. So I get it out, and it was there. Everything that he said, it was there. So I'm like, let me call my dentist. So I called my dentist. He was able to glue it back on. He was like, Crystal, you're gonna have to get these replaced. Now, if you know anything about insurance, it has to be 5 years before insurance will replace it 100%. These teeth were not cheap. So I'm like, okay, we just gonna keep, if it come back out, we gonna glue it back on. So okay, He put it back on. I'm babysitting it. We go, I bit into a taco and it came off again. So I'm like, oh my God, like, God, you gotta be kidding me right now. Like, what do you want me to do? Mind you, I have to take pictures for my online clothing store, 318. These are where these dresses came from, by the way. So I have to take pictures. So I'm emotional about this and I'm doubting God and I'm just like, you said you was gonna take me, I'm gonna be this person I've never been. What is going on? Like, how am I still gonna take pictures? Like, I was pissed. I'm not even gonna lie. And he kept calm down. I got you. Calm down. I got you. And he literally said, you're gonna go, you still gonna take them pictures tomorrow. So I'm like, he was like, call the dentist. So I called the dentist and yeah, they was on vacation for 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
So they couldn't even put the solder it back on. So I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, God, now mind you, I'm feeling the emotions I'm feeling right now or frustration, anger, I'm bitter because it's like I'm listening to you, God, but this ain't what I thought it was gonna be. Let's talk about it. Like, come here, come on down on that cloud. We need to discuss some things. So he literally just kept me. He was God. I know when God is speaking to me as opposed to myself because it's calm. It's not aggressively. It's nurturing. It's that's for me.
It's not this intrusive thought. It is
correct.
Okay.
I love that. Yeah, that's exactly. That's not what it is. So I literally had to go the next day and I took pictures for 318. And if you look back on the pictures, you could see I'm smiling like this. And I felt so uncomfortable because I'm used to
the Kool-Aid smile.
Yes, and I felt so uncomfortable. But again, I had to thrive. I had to grow. I had to flourish. Feeling everything that I felt, God was like, you still got to do the work. Like, you still got, I'm bringing you to do something, be somebody you've never been, but you still got a business to take, to grow. You still have these kids you got to take care of. I still had 1,000 things to do. I still had to go to work. I still had to go out in public and talk to people and promote my business. So imagine having to do that with a chipped tooth.
And all of the inadequate emotions you might have been feeling at that time.
Yes. My God. I felt I ain't never really had self-esteem issues, not to say it like that. But baby, walking around like that, knowing, because then you got on social media, they always talking about somebody's teeth. People always got something to say. And it was like, I felt like I had a point to prove. Like, if I'm talking to you, I need to explain to you why my tooth is missing. And God was like, you don't explain to anybody, you don't have no point to prove.
Right, you don't owe them anything.
Exactly, but that's going to make it worse because now you feel like you got a point to prove and you don't. I know what's going on. You know that it can get fixed. Who cares what anybody else thinks? And I was like, you know what? You're right. So I took them pictures and I kept going.
So that was a freak accident that you had semi-control over, but what about this dog bite? Because it seemed like the weapons was forming.
Baby, them weapons was forming. I ain't gonna say they prospered because it ain't taking me out, but baby, they were forming, okay? So basically there was another freak accident. All of this stuff is just stuff that's never happened to me before in life. Things that I've never had to deal with. So the dog bite, he was on the floor roughhousing with my youngest daughter and he got a hold of her hair. Dallas was trying to pull her hair away. So, if you have a dog, you pull it away. They think it's fun and games and they growling. The growl is not an aggressive growl, but the growl is more so like I'm playing we playing tug. Long story short, I had to get him off of her. I'm like on the floor. Oh my God, it was insane. Like blood was everywhere. He didn't bite her. I ended up, I don't even want to say what I did, but I had to get him off and just know I got him off of her. And so with me getting him off of her, he immediately looked at me and bit down, but he let go immediately as well. So I'm like, oh my God, Deucey, because I love Deucey. Like, oh my God, I still love him to this day when I see him. Okay, so that had to do with the breakup. So my ex has him, but I still, get to see him from time to time. So I'm like, I just love you, Deucey, so much. But it hurt me to have to get him off of my child, and it hurt my child. So there was another whirlwind of emotions, and I just got bit by a dog. My legs. Are you kidding me? Like, not to brag, but I
Got the legs.
Yes, I love my legs, and to have this bite is dark spots on my legs, and I'm of a lighter complexion, and so you can easily see that the bites are there. So I'm like, oh my God, like me literally looking at God like, you can't, like this, no. Crystal, you still got to take them pictures. Crystal, you still got to keep on keeping on. You still going to go to work. You cannot fall by the wayside. And the scripture that stuck out to me was, you'll in due season, you'll reap if you faint not. You know, you just got to keep on going. So in the midst of all of this that's happening, and we don't necessarily have to talk about the breakup, but me going through a breakup. So I'm feeling those emotions as well. Absolutely. And I'm still serving at church. I'm still going. And then I think one day, I went to church, and like the where I normally go park to get in early so I could serve, it was blocked off. So that frustrated me. So then I'm already frustrated because I'm feeling these emotions. God is like, you're going to feel. It's human. It's normal. You can feel emotions, and I'm just going crazy in my head, y'all, because I'm not used to feeling these emotions. I'm used to
just blocking it
out and going on about my business. Oh no, God, when he said he was making me somebody I ain't never been before, he really meant that. And so I literally had to deal with them. So I go in church, and Luan, I'm just gonna say names, but she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, just pray for me." But in the midst of all this, I'm the platform manager, so I have to bring out the TV. We got to do the run through. I'm literally about to break down. I'm like, I can't even take it. So we had to, after I get done doing that, I'm still holding it together. But I'm like, okay, I need to get this out. I got to get these emotions out of me. I need to figure out what's going on. We had to have a meeting, and we have our tech meeting at around 8:00. And so normally Pastor is not at the meeting. He comes every now and then, but this particular time he was not. Well, this particular time he came to the meeting. And baby, when I say he talked. I had to walk out the meeting for 1 second, go in the auditorium, come back in, and I was like, okay. Soon as he got done, I looked at my friend Max, and I said, can I please go to your office? I'm not okay. And she's seen it, and she immediately, because nobody's used to seeing me crying. I'm not a crier. Now that I don't do. Like, I will cry, but I'm just like, no, I'm not going to cry. Like, I can deal with anything. I'm not going to cry about it. No. Baby, I was in that office boo-hooing, and I was going, she talked to me, I let that out, and, you know, she let me know that it's normal and to keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
So I'm getting prayed for. Like, after this incident, I'm still going to church every Sunday. I'm getting prayed for. I'm going to the altar. I'm ready for this breakthrough, you know, all of that good stuff. And every time I went, you want to know what they kept telling me?
What did they say?
The same thing. That's how I know it's God. You got to keep on keeping on. And then there was like, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and everything will be added unto you. But the one that they kept, like, they were saying that, but then they were also, you got to keep on keeping on, Crystal. And I said, stop telling me that. How do you keep on keeping on? What does that consist of? And they was like, you're doing it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep going. Keep going. And I'm like, that doesn't help because I still don't know. But thanks for your
Thank you, but no.
Thank you, but when I look back, it did help.
So it sounds like you didn't just go through these things; you grew through these things.
Correct.
Like he didn't bring you this far to only come this far. He took you above and beyond. Yes, so where are you now emotionally?
I am way more in tune with my emotions now. I will say what helped me, because I'm not gonna lie, I was reading the Bible and I was talking to God, but it was more to it than that. I had to go get books. I had to learn myself. I didn't know myself. Yeah. Like I thought I did. I mean, I knew myself, but I really didn't. I had to learn who I was, what I liked, and why would certain things make me want to avoid emotions. I had to really dig deep and be like, why does that make me feel this way? Absolutely. And I also had to like sit down, like now when I feel something, I'm like, okay, Crystal, what emotion are you feeling right now?
When you said you tune in, you really are tuned in to the emotions that you are feeling so you can respond correctly.
Because I need to release that energy. Okay. It's an energy that's within me, and I need to get that out of me, and I need to either we can talk about it, or it's not necessarily I have to talk to someone else. I need to talk to myself, because you can really have an effective conversation with someone, but if you don't even understand what's going on in yourself, how can you make somebody else understand how you feel?
That's important.
So I had to learn how to do that. I read what was the book, The Untethered Soul. That one really got me right on together, because I was like, oh my God,
with the roommate.
yeah. Listen, yes, y'all got to read that book. It's a really good book. And then Joyce Meyer has a book called Maintaining Your Daily Emotions, or something like that. It's like a 90-day devotional. So I read that, and I started posting it online, because I'm like, I know it's somebody going through the stuff that I do.
Absolutely.
And I had to take it one day at a time. So now I'm very in tune with my emotions. I think when I look back at previous situations, like even with just guys that I've dated or anything of that nature, like if I really like them, I notice, like, dang, he probably was a good guy. Not that I want to be back with anybody, or looking back, trying to go back and be like, hey, I played you 50 years ago. Come back. I'm a better person.
Yeah.
No, because all of that was a part of my story. I had to go through all of that to get here. But I will say, going forward, the things that I made mistakes, it wasn't a mistake because it was supposed to happen. But the things that I know now, I would not go into a new relationship, whether it be friendship relationship, if I meet somebody new, or if it's a guy that I start dating, I just wouldn't do the things because I know better. So
yeah,
you know better, you do better.
Do you think if you cross paths with those individuals, you would express how you're
no? Okay. What? Who? What?
With anybody, just to say like, oh, I'm a different person now.
No, I wouldn't, because God ain't say that I had to do all that. And my growth was for me. And what happened for a reason with anybody in my past. Everything happened to bring me to where I am now. It's not, God didn't bring me this far to make me be like, okay, now go apologize for who you once were.
Okay.
No, because he made me. He ordered my steps. Like he knew. So I'm definitely not apologizing for anything. Now, if someone, I'm not above apologizing to anyone. You know what I mean? Because if I know when I'm wrong, and then I also know when I'm being emotional now. So, but it's no.
But some people just need to get
absolutely not. I'm not apologizing.
Reacquainted if it need be, but don't judge me on my past.
Right. Correct. And then the people that are there for you, the people that know you, they already understand. All of my friends, they know who I am and how I am. That's not an excuse for the things, like if I offend you or something. But I'll tell everybody, you have to tell your friends what they did, because if you don't tell me, how am I supposed to know that I did something wrong, or what I said offended you? And it's not, even if I don't agree with what you said, I understand it. That's life. That's you. So if it affects you, it doesn't matter if it doesn't affect me. That's something that affected you. So if I love you, I'm going to correct it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think being able to understand those things about yourself plays an immense role in your ability to cope.
Yes.
Your self-esteem.
Yeah.
And your willingness to go out and face the world. So with that, I just have to ask, when you wake up in the morning, and you
I'm like
brushing your teeth, and you taking stock of everything that you've learned and everything that you've grown through, how often do you find yourself needing to fight back the urge to say, these bitches can't even fucking compete with me? I have to know.
And I'm not even gonna. I don't think like that.
You should. You should.
That's kind of like a unspoken thing. Like I don't really need to tell myself that. I don't know how this gonna come off. I really don't care how it's gonna come off. But I don't necessarily, like, I know me. I'm comfortable in who I am. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of.
Absolutely.
I know what's going on over here.
You know what God made.
Yes, so I don't necessarily, if I do think of anything, it's more so me competing with myself. Like,
that's it. You in your own lane.
Yeah, own lane, own race, own pace. I know people saying that, but that really is what it is. So, like, no, there's nobody matters when it comes to my journey. Nobody really, what's for me is gonna always be for me. There's no competition when it comes to me. Now, if someone sees me as competition, that's something you need to take up with the Lord.
Absolutely.
But I don't see anybody as competition, and that's because I know what He has for me is gonna be for me. Nobody can take that from me. it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that was my little Easter egg curveball I had to throw in there. But
oh my God, did she say that? Oh my God, did they go over my head?
No.
Oh God.
Yeah, because you know
because I haven't watched. Is that an insecure thing?
No.
Oh, okay, because I still haven't watched it, and Maria like be so pissed at me.
You need to. But I wanted to say you're a complete inspiration.
Thank you.
And just sharing this is probably like a lot of people probably look at you and like, oh my gosh, you seem so perfect. I would never know you went through any of that.
Oh my God. And this is just surface level stuff. Like I was going through it the whole 2023, but I kept listening to God. I kept on. I keep on keeping on. And I was so irritated.
While you were going through any of this and you came out on the other side of it, do you think that your relationships personally, like with your children or family, that was strengthened at all?
I think so. More so on my end than theirs. And then I think people, not just my kids, my friends, family, I think people are so used to me being a giver and a lover. So I did kind of see like when I would not necessarily take the love away, but when I started creating those healthy boundaries, and because I would do stuff that I did not want to do for people because I wanted you to feel the love.
Yeah.
And if you could feel this love that I gotta give you, that makes me feel great. Yeah. Even if it's something that I don't care, and it's not a lot of stuff that I don't care to do because I'm just always up for an adventure or just anything and to help anyone. But sometimes you don't have time to do certain things.
Absolutely.
You don't. I didn't have the mental capacity to do a lot of things last year. Like I was going through a lot on my own, let alone I couldn't really pour into somebody else. I tried, but I couldn't. So I think everyone around me, even with them not even knowing like everything that was going on, them being there for me, I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to explain myself. Yeah, it was just like, okay, but I still love you. I'm still gonna rock with you. And I think that was another thing growing up. You kind of feel like, dang, you become a people pleaser. I hate to say that because I don't really feel like I was a people pleaser, but in essence you are because you want them to love you no matter what. So you're doing all these different things. And I think that caused the fear of me not being able to love. Like, dang, if I say I don't like this, they're not
How are they gonna respond?
Yeah, and then I'm not gonna be able to love them. And dang, will they be able to show me love? And then the whole time, the whole time though, I would be shown love, but it wasn't the love that I needed, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like it wasn't my love helped you out more than your love helped me out. And that's not you. That's just growing up. Yeah. And so now I still create healthy boundaries with people. I still do certain things my way. Another thing last year, when I was learning myself, I hung out by myself a whole lot. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm always out to eat. A lot of those times, I was by myself. And I still will go by myself. But how can I not, if I don't find myself fun, how can somebody else? Right, like, no, and I think I'm a real good time. So I will go out of town by myself. I'll take trips. I'll go out to eat. If I want to do something, I will go by myself. And if someone can't go, it's not a big deal to me. I know life comes up for people, but it's me learning myself and really loving on myself and talking to God and just being, and this is something that I would have never done before. I used to love company at my house. Yes. I used to love somebody around all the time. I want you to have a good time. I'm still that person, but now it's like, a boundary is there. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. So if you had to recommend somebody to start on this journey to self-healing through your emotions, what would that recommendation? What's a good starting point for somebody that needed to get a hold
starting point is prayer. And I'm about to tell y'all something that I didn't want to hear, but you got to seek God first. And He will add.
You need an anchor.
Yeah, because you cannot do it on your own, and don't listen to everybody because everyone doesn't know you. You don't even really know you. Like, you know you, but you need to be listening to the man above, or and listen to yourself and how you feel. Write it down. Like, I was writing stuff down today. I felt this. What is this feeling? Why am I feeling like, if I'm around this person, why am I feeling tense, or why am I feeling like cringy, or not even cringy? And I wasn't around nobody where I was just like
like
But
anxiety,
anxiety. You
heavy.
start, your body reacts before your mind even realizes what's going on. So if you feel your body reacting, be like, wait a minute,
this energy is wrong.
Yeah, what's going on? And then I also recommend, when I say don't listen to people, because I had someone tell me before, like when life was life, and not recently, but like in my younger years. And I think that's another thing that made me avoid emotions was, he was basically like, that's life, deal with it. So I was like, oh, well, he right. That is life. Just shoot. Life is life, and you just got to deal with it. And that kind of hurt me more than it helped me. And I didn't see it back then because that displayed with my oldest. Like I would tell her, she'd be crying about something. I'm like, what are you crying for? It's life. Deal with it. She's 6. Girl, what is wrong with you? She needs to get it out. Luckily, I caught it. And so before she got to an adult, because she's 21 now, but I'd be like, feel your emotions. What's going on? Tell me about it. Like, okay, it's okay if you cry. What I used to tell you was wrong. It's okay to cry. Let that out. And so now when I'm dealing with my other daughter, Lord Jesus, she's just a ball of emotions. But I have to tell her, especially with volleyball, it's okay to feel what you're feeling, but you also have to control what you're feeling at that moment. So say I'm angry and me and you, let's say we into it, or you at the grocery store, somebody do something you don't like. There's no need to clown. That's gonna bring out a whole nother energy. Now, if you have to defend yourself, then by all means. Right. But I'm saying,
if you can diffuse it,
because that's gonna bring you to a whole nother place and have to deal, like come down. That's gonna affect your peace and what's going on within you and your journey. So I would just say, understand what you're feeling, and if you gotta look up, oh, is this jealousy? Let me look this up. Oh, this is jealousy, and it's okay.
It's a logical decision.
Yeah, make logical decisions, but don't react off of your emotions. I'm not perfect by far, but I try my best to be cognitive of how I feel and try my best to not react off of my emotions. Because back in the day, what I'm going there. Like,
where you act up is where you get.
Correct. And on site, I didn't care who it was. You know, it didn't matter what was going on, who was around, but. Again, that takes so much out of you. I mean, talking about it is draining. And it's like, okay, it's time for a change. Absolutely. And people will see your change, and some people will be happy about it. Some people won't. Some people start telling people no. You gonna see who really in your corner when you start telling people no, because that one no will override every single yes that you've ever told or given them in the past. Like, I mean, I can't explain it, but now people finna be calling me like, girl, did you? And I'm be like, listen, listen, yeah, I'm still, Cree's still up in there now. Don't
not get twisted,
but you really do. Like, I experienced that, and not just within the last year, but just over the years. You tell one person no about some stuff, or try to explain why you can't, let's say, make it to something, or. But when people are used to you saying yes, it messes with them when you tell them no.
It's the halo effect.
Yes, but the people your people gonna be your people. You'll see. And So did I answer the question?
Yes, you did. But you answered the question. So energy don't lie. Trust that. Trust your intuition. Make sure that you stay anchored in your faith and your understanding.
Learn yourself. Read books, and also know that it's human. You are human. Like people that go through grief and just any type of feeling, whether it's happy, whether it's joy, whether it's sadness, whatever it is, feel that feeling and know what it is, because then if it happens again, you'll know, hey, I know what this is and I know how to handle this, rather than avoiding it and then it come up and it keep coming up and you reacting the same way. So when people see people reacting like, dang, she ain't gonna never change, she doing the same thing, no, that person, he or she can change. They just don't understand what they're going through. Because once they understand it and know better, you'll be like, they'll start changing their ways, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. And I think the other part of that might be to recognize when somebody else is in transition and don't hinder that. Be kind, because you never know what people are going
my God,
through.
please be kind, because last year, I'm telling you, it was by the grace of God. I'm so happy. I mean, I'm not just around people that just be storing stuff, but I'm so happy I didn't have those tests last year where somebody's just doing something crazy and I'm just flipping out. Maybe I grew from that too.
I think you grew.
You think I did? Okay.
Because it was a couple of situations I was like, Well, I'm on what you on. So
Right.
if you relaxed, I'ma just chill.
Okay.
But
Thank God for growth. Thank God for growth. Thank God for growth. But yeah, you just
Yeah. Well, with that, I do think that this was an amazing conversation and it shed so much light on people's
yeah.
need to grow. And so if you're
Yes.
one of them people like, I don't care, I don't have no feelings, I catch flights, not feelings, and all these
No,
other
you better
fun
start
things.
catching them feelings
Yeah.
because you're gonna be on that flight in your feelings and you're gonna wish you would have dealt with them feelings,
Right,
prior to
right.
this. So definitely, I think that's a cute little phrase though, because
Yeah.
I feel you on that one. But now that I went through what I went through, and that was a lifetime. That's a lifetime of emotions that I had to deal with in the course of a year. He's God's still working on me, but where he's taken me and just the different things he's introduced me to, especially with business. I'm sorry, I gotta touch on this. With the business aspect, what's what
So you want to touch on the business aspect. So
okay,
tell
yes,
me
that's
more
what I
about
wanted to
that.
say.
Yeah.
So with the business aspect and when God, outside of dealing with the emotions, God also was, he said he's gonna make me be somebody that I've never been before. And so I'm a business owner. You can't have emotions in business. Not necessarily you can have emotions, but your emotions will affect.
You can't let them dictate your business.
Correct. I'm sorry. Yes, you cannot let them dictate your business at all. And so I was reading a book. It's called it's the guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
But it's the quadrants, 4 quadrants, like the income quadrants. I can't think of the name of the book. However, as I was reading this book, he kept going back to being emotionally stable while you were a business owner. So I'm like, okay. Then I'm reading this other book, and it's the e-commerce book. Again, they talking about emotions, and I'm like, all right, God, what is it? And so that's when he's like, you need put these books down for a second. We're gonna come back to these books. Right now, you need to get some books on emotions. As I said that earlier, I had to find some books, so I found those books. And so once I read those books, I'm like, oh, this makes sense. So when you running a business and people are doing different things, you don't let your emotions affect it. You create healthy boundaries in business. So that's another reason. If you own a business and you emotional, you got
because your ego, that's an emotion, and
then
people
if
don't
you
understand that it just drives it.
Yes, and outside of that, let's say if you don't make no sales. Because I did a release and it was like the lowest release I've ever done. And going through that year, some of the stuff did not sell out. And I was used to selling out
immediately.
I'm like, what? So again, this is something that I'm feeling. I'm like, God, so now I'm mad because you see other boutiques, or I'm sorry, not boutiques. Well, they call themselves boutiques. I'm an online clothing store. I'm not a boutique. But you see other stores that are selling out just, the stuff that I was shopping from before I got my own stuff, out of town clothing stores, all kind of stuff, selling out of things. And it's like, dang, why am I not doing, like, what's going on? But I had to keep on keeping on. Even if I was not selling out, I can't give up. I can't quit.
Right.
You didn't sell out of 2 or 3 shirts and you pissed, Crystal. God's like, girl, if you're going to be something, be for real.
Yeah, that ain't nothing to be mad
like,
about.
Yeah, it's like, girl, come on. Didn't I tell you I got you? So just knowing that I know that God had my back, getting through that was not easy, but now that I look back on it, it's like, I'm so happy I kept my faith. I'm so happy that I kept going. Because what if I didn't? Oh, that's a scary situation. Yeah. And he's bringing like all the stuff he's bringing out of me, stuff that I'm doing behind the scenes that, might not have shown to the world yet. Absolutely. But the doors he's opening for me and doing, I could not have walked through these doors, y'all, if I wouldn't have went through what I went through and if I wouldn't have let God take control. Being in control was a thing for me too. Because I had to be in control. Yeah. I need to run this. I need this to go this way because I want it to be right. Not because I want to tell people what to do. I just want it to be right. And then half the time it wasn't even right anyway. You know what I mean? So God is like, girl, when you gonna let me be in complete control? So I went through all of that for a reason. So I don't even know what the question was.
But you grew through that. It was the business aspect.
Yes.
And so you were telling us how you had to be in control of your emotions in order to
yes.
Absolutely. And
So,
that's important. And I think you can't always separate the two. So things that are driving you personally, if you don't have control of your emotions, that will definitely leak over into your business, and you might not make the best decisions.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, seriously, because I mean, there's been times where I'm like, well, it ain't selling, so I'm just gonna stop. Like,
yeah.
But I was passionate about it, and I prayed about this business. So you gonna give up on something that God didn't walk you through, and that you've been praying about all because of this? Do you know how much He can do for you? Like.
Yeah.
The Bible says He can go above and beyond, like whatever you could think, imagine. So if I think about it, I'm like, well, God gonna do something greater than it.
Yeah.
Because if He said He gonna do something that I can't even think about, my thought is irrelevant.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I might as well keep on keeping on, because He, you know,
absolutely.
As much as I hated to keep on keeping on, because I was pissed. Stop telling me that.
But it's like a gym transformation. And it's like, all right, I'm going to spend a little bit of time at the gym. No, you have to keep going to the gym. Yes. And if you keep going, you never know what that transformation might actually take you to. That transformation might not just be the gym. It might be food. It might be
everything.
The way you eat, the way you consume information, the way you store your knowledge, the way you all of that is. It's all encompassing, because we are mind, body, and soul, and so you have to balance yourself.
Come on now, yes. And I had to go to the gym too. That hurt. I don't know. You can't see my leg, but that's another thing. I still had to go to the gym. Because I'm the model for my clothes.
Exactly.
So it's like everything that could go wrong was like, in my eyes, everything that can go wrong was going wrong. But guess what? I could not give up. God was still like, okay, that happened. You still got to go do it. I told you to do something. You got to. That's back to the obedience portion of it. People think it's like when you say be obedient to God is the 7 commandments. I mean, what the 10 commandments? Oh my God! But God, you know, I just heard that. No, we're gonna edit that out of here. But you do need to do those as well. But you also, when He's telling you to do something, like when He told who was it, Moses and Aaron, don't. We're gonna get them water, but do not strike that rock.
Don't strike the rock.
They was in their emotions. They struck that rock, and guess what? He couldn't see the promised land. Right. So it's like little things.
Had to wonder for all them years.
Yes, and he like literally was like, somebody forgot who was talking to him, but he basically was like, listen, Moses telling him like, hey, I'm gonna show you the promised land. I can't go there, but I'm gonna show it to you. And we all know he was not able to go on further. He ended up passing away, but I don't want to be there. And I know this like Old Testament and that's not what's going on now, but like, nah, if I could. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, God, whatever you told me to do, no matter how, I always tell myself, no matter how I feel, no matter what I think, no matter what I see, God is in complete control. His word is right. He holds His word above His name. I'm praying every day in the morning. I'm reading my word. I'm listening for Him. I don't care who. It could be a dog, not a dog, but like a kid. It don't matter. God will speak through you through anybody. And if it's wisdom that if it's wisdom and it lines up with the word of God and what God is telling you, listen to that person.
Correct, because He's married to the backslider.
Yeah. So the saints and the ain'ts.
The ain'ts right here, the saints. No, but this is tremendous, and it's momentous just to listen to you again. It's inspirational.
Thank you.
And I want to get started on my journey. I'm like, ooh, exciting. So,
you should, because you like to internalize it. Look, now I'm putting her business out there, so start on that journey.
And I think, that's why I'm like, what's a good starting place? Because you sometimes we're put in positions where you're forced to be strong.
Yeah.
And you're strong for so long. It's just like, look, I don't have time to acknowledge those types of things.
Right. And that was me. I don't have time to do that. I don't feel like dealing with that right now. But I would say, ask God. And even though I just said that to you, that might not even be what He needs you to work on. That might be your strength. Even though you look at it as a weakness, no, He needs you to be there because you were observing everything. And that keeps you with wisdom. You know, it's like you can apply it because you're looking at that. I mean, it's not good all the time. I mean, not good. Okay. Not that it's not good, but you know what I mean?
Everybody's gift is different. Everybody's walk is different.
So don't let anyone that's not in your shoes or they had whatever God tell you. If people come up and be like, well, God told me to tell you this. Well, He didn't tell me that. He talked to me all the time. So if he ain't confirmed it out of the mouth,
get your own relationship with God.
I'm trying to tell you.
A pastor told me, like, if you don't feel convicted in doing, keep on doing it. And when you need to feel the conviction, you will.
Yes, you will. No, seriously, because it's certain things God want to work with you on that people will be telling you, and that's not even what it is. Mm-hmm. So you really have to listen.
Time.
Yeah. So like, let's pray, ask God to give you wisdom, clarity, discernment, and like, hey, what is it in me? Because I thought I was just fine, but I wasn't. Like I really thought, baby, I'm good. I emotions blah, and in order for me to go to new heights and ascend, I had to really deal with that and some other things that I had to deal with as well. But life is great.
Yeah,
life is good. Life is good.
Yeah. I read about right. But what you put out are the things that you begin to attract. So when you start to exude that inward stability and that emotional maturity, that's what you'll start to receive. Yeah. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I think that it's coming back. And that's why you are great and you are in this position.
And everybody can't go with you. Oh, when you get them boundaries, listen to them. Everybody cannot go with you, whether it's family, friends, kids. Yeah, I'm just saying, I love my kids. But I mean, creating those boundaries with them, I'm sorry, that just came to me. So I felt like I needed to put that out there. Just know, and it might hurt because that's the thing with the boundaries. It might hurt, but where God's taking you is the reason. Like, keep going back to the Bible. We talk, go up on that mountain, you got to go by yourself.
Right, absolutely.
It's just certain things. Everybody. Yeah, and then even with moving forward, the doors He's opening for me. Yeah, my loved ones will be around, but certain things, that's not an everybody thing. That's a you thing. I told you to go do this, and I told you to do it by yourself.
Exactly.
And I say that because I'm going through something like this right now. That's about to happen in a couple of weeks, where I have to do it on my own and by myself, and it's going to be my first time doing it. So it's kind of like, all right, so I'm just telling you what He's telling me, and if He's telling you that as well, listen.
But you got this.
Yes, thank you.
You got this, and I can't wait to hear more about whatever that thing is, because you have done all the things that you needed to do to be prepared to do it, and so whatever it is, let's just. Oh, I can't wait to hear. It's exciting.
Yes,
it is so exciting.
All right,
well, thank you so much for allowing me to interview you on your show. I think this is an amazing platform, and you are doing something that has not been done, nothing that I've seen before, and I think it's great. So continue to tune in and learn more, and give us the feedback. Everybody wants the feedback is something that we need, and
if you want to hear about a certain topic, I mean, I can't just go out and just be like, hey, are you depressed? Come here.
Yeah.
Or hey, are you dealing with death? Come here. Can you help somebody else? But if you have a story that look, now I'm back in host mode. If you have a story that you would like to share and that you think that it can help others, please let us know. You can send us a DM on Instagram. You can also email us at info@3-18.com. And just let us know your story. And, I'm going to pray about it, because I just can't have everybody on the show. So if you don't hear back from me, it's nothing against you. Take that up with the Lord.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
All right. So remember, beauty still shines in the darkest of places. We'll see y'all next week.
Time.
No, next time, because I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Next time.